Is that Leech a gold split? No, I don't have any splits on Leech. I don't think so. I don't think. There's a base stand hit background. Yeah, and generally speaking, when you warp your deck around, beating Hello with multiple cards, you lose to most other decks. Yeah, we poked in some AFK Journey stuff to start this morning. We did some polls for the new character. So, blinking this rock slide is guaranteed to give me Leech. Yeah, it's my only card in my deck that costs more than 3. How's that Ultron treating you over there, buddy? Was it good for you? That was good for me. Ha! Going on, Wicked. Thank you for the 25 months. I appreciate the over 2 years. Welcome back. The Sandcastle emote is so good. It really is. Turned out superb. Are you surprised that people are unironically saying this OTA overbuffed cards? I mean, the jury's out on Leech, but Ultron certainly didn't get overbuffed. You're missing Nocturne. Is Angela worth it? Probably not. I actually have been pretty underwhelmed by Cerebro. I think it definitely struggles into wider metagames. Valari! Welcome to Hoaglandia's latest shillionaire. That trickle-down economy working for everybody, chat. It's getting so much more accessible. Our next shillionaire will now only have to spend 999,839 shillings. Lovely. Valari, don't forget to tag me on the Discord server to make sure you get access to Beverly Shills. Okay, and then we can quick math the Ultron here. Ultron bots are getting +6. So they'll be 8 apiece, so they'll be 29 here in the center, right? So Hawk puts me to 22. Nocturne puts me to 27, so I should leave. Right? Quick math. 27 versus 29. And that's an Ultron buff difference maker here, chat. Can you win the right? That's a good question. On the right, they'll be adding 16 up to 33 plus another 4 up to 37. I would be at 35 over here. The bots are 7. No, the bots are 7, aren't they? So 7 is only 26 here? Oh, I was miscounting. So this beats Ultron then, right? Sure. Okay, so for the record, we didn't need the Subterranea. We were at 27 without the Subterranea. But also, this is exactly what I've been talking about, why Ultron is probably a shit pub stomper card. If your opponent is good, you can count out and know deterministically how big they're gonna be and know when you can stay and take their lunch money versus when you have to leave. So without Nocturne RNGing here, we're 27 to 26 and know we can stay. It's just a very straightforward count. And in the games where your opponent counts and they know they're beat, they just get to leave and you never get any meaningful amount of cubes. Isn't that what Pixie is for, so they can't predict it? Even when you have Pixie in your output range, your opponent can still count what's likely going to happen because of how restricted on space you are and how base low power they are, Eric. Like you could even still count extreme things like, okay, what if they play Onslaught and Ultron in the last turn? So you're right. Pixie helps with that a little bit, but also she doesn't fix it in its entirety. It's still a low cube equity, fairly telegraphed thing. Ultron feels bad against Killmonger and Cannonballs. Yeah, not good into Professor X either, right? Because X locks up the lane. You could have just done Kitty Mid, correct? Risking the Nocturne move was worth it. Chad, if I hadn't risked the Nocturne move, I wouldn't have gotten to generate Subterranea, and then I would have not soaked in any sodium for my opponent, thinking we needed that to win. Did you consider the upside of the extra sodium generation? Perhaps you should have. Opponent freaking Subterranean hits Red Hulk off of Jubilee. Average Marvel Snap experience. Is it better to play Leech early? It is better to play Leech early when your opponent is Subterranean and is less likely to draw on revealed cards afterwards. It's just this, right? And play for a breaker?
Hello, can you understand me?
Could have counted. We should have known Infinite was coming, yeah. I guess it's hard to play around any particular thing when they Subterranea. And this is, you know, the part about, obviously we should have muted them. They're a hella gamer. They don't know how to win a game without emoting. This is the problem with Leech when it comes to being like Leech is an anti-hella card, is you spend a turn playing a 4-2 and they just play Red Hulk and Infinite, right? Like it's not actually a real counter to the entire thing. They have reasonable, serviceable backup plans. That's good. Are they playing a magic build? No, they're just explicitly giving that up. Cool. Because they already played into the bar, I think I just try and get rid of the hella here. And we just like Hawk next turn into 6-drop on the last turn. Gives up having to deal with Magneto too, which is nice. I think we're just dead again, yeah? We even got a completely free lane and just can't win the game? Hello players always know when they got hosed by Leech and can retreat for 2 cubes, while we can lose 4 or 8 cubes to top deck Hella after leeching. The information asymmetry diminishes its effectiveness as a counter. Completely agree. A fantastically well articulated point there from Durza in chat. I don't have any agency here yet. I just gotta leave. Couldn't even win.
Escaped.
Unironically, the Leech might just be better as Black Widow in this matchup. The Leech might actually just be better as Black Widow, because that's a card that's like guaranteed to be disruption at least. Yeah, you both cut a draw and take away board space, and make your Darkhawk bigger too. Saying that you'll only lose 8 cubes to Hela after you leech them because of your ego shows a fundamental misunderstanding of the entire conversation we have. Get out of my chat. Not gonna have any productive discussions with you. The problem with making changes like suggesting they make Hela a 6/2 is that you're right. Her power doesn't matter, but it's like, okay, if her power doesn't matter, why even make the change, right? Does it matter? I am not asking you for your idiotic recommendations on how to rebalance Hela, chat. If you were qualified and capable of designing a good change for Hela, you'd be employed by Second Dinner or a different game company, not offering up silly suggestions here in my Twitch chat. As always, there are dozens or maybe even hundreds of suitable ways to change any single card.
To me.
I don't really care what your recommendations are. Did he just ban someone for being dumb? Yup. Welcome to Hoaglandia. where your actions have repercussions. I know it's tough sled, and that's not expected in most parts of the internet, but that is how we operate here. J-Pox, thank you for the 15 months. That's why I try not to speak too much, can't let them know I'm dumb. It's better to be silent, to remain silent and be thought a fool, than to open your mouth and remove all doubt, yeah? Classic conventional wisdom. Thanks for hanging out, Wiggly. I appreciate you being here. Greg MC, thank you for the 10 months. Welcome back. All right, so their Hela's already gone. Corvus is discarded. Magneto's in their output range. The extra energy I got off of Hope might actually be a liability here. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. It's probably just a coin flip, yeah? Do they play mid or do they play right? Oh, the Red Hulk's already in play. Magneto could get us. You're right, I don't have to worry about Red Hulk. Where do they Magneto? They Magneto middle? I guess their vision can move around too. My body is ready to be emoted. That's fine, they're muted. I posted a tweet about this, but I gotta say, it's interesting / amusing / frustrating that they pre-nerfed Viper because of Selene, and they pre-nerfed Kitty Pryde because of Elsa. But they released Blink, and we're like, you know what? You know what, dog? Hella's fine. It's fine. They'll get an upgrade. It'll still be fine. It's just like it hurts how they feel the need to pre-nerf every card I find fun when something might make them better. But like Hella bullshit's gonna get a new card. They're just like, nah, let it ride. Let's see where the fucking dice fall. Glenn's on Hella's payroll, yeah. Alright, gamers, it's time for some adverts. We're gonna play some more of this deck when we get back. Thanks for hanging out. Don't go anywhere. Is sub mode still on? It's not. And as a heads up, if you're a regular hanging out accruing channel points, if you watch the stream, even when the channel is periodically in sub mode, you can still chat using channel points.
Oh, snap.
Someone who's watched Hoglandia, you can still chat just for watching. How do you mute the tab and not the player? You right click here and hit mute tab, mute site. You don't click on the player and then mute the player from the icon. Some people have said you can mute the player and it works for them, other people have not. Let's try this again. So far, Leech feels good at beating Ultron and bad at beating Hella, which is about running exactly to my expectations.
Oh, snap.
Poor Ultron, yep. Well, that's sad. I guess we'll do this now. Being able to do math at a first grade level also beats Ultron. Whoa, now. Why would you play something so controversial yet so bold? There is a very real chance that the change to Leech was an attempt to bring Hella down, that in reality only ends up hurting B-tier decks while leaving the actual good deck untouched largely. It was a noble try, but... we want to make sure we sequence the Rock Slide second here, so that way we can blink it next turn into a Doom or Red Hulk. Drawing Dr. Doom is sad. I guess it could be a Leech here, too. And actually, if we're leeching them, I don't want to contest DC, because they'll get a bunch of cards that power up DC. I was playing some Surfer Darkhawk stuff yesterday, and Leech was a problem for me then as well. Yep. Yeah, that sadly just doesn't surprise me at all. But the thing that's, yeah. Oof. It's just this. I think we're clear in the middle. Do I play Kitty left to keep them honest? This beats Dr. Doom, yeah? Beats Dr. Doom, beats Odin Center. They could have a random output range from Pixie is noteworthy. Pixie could get us here. Carnage. Oh, got him.
Victory.
Is this why Darkhawk got nerfed? I want to make something very clear. Darkhawk was definitely very good and almost assuredly was nerfed based on metrics that are reasonable to nerf a card on. The problem with the Darkhawk nerf is public perception. They nerfed Darkhawk at a time where a majority of the community was not good enough at the game to understand that Darkhawk was good, so it wasn't being played. And they simultaneously didn't touch any of the cards that are publicly viewed as problematic. If they would have taken 1 point off of Darkhawk while also adjusting Hela and or Professor X in some way, I think it mostly would have been like a, yeah, fine, that's a good OTA round of changes. I think in general, most people greatly underestimate the impact that changing a card by a single point of power has. I think players underestimate how much taking a point of power away does and how much adding a point of power gives a card. Oh, you know, I should be playing into the door dimension, yeah? Kitty's coming back by it anyways. That's fine. I think we're torched here anyways. We'll go to the next game.
Escaped.
I think they underestimate. They think any singular point change to power is less impactful than it actually is.
Oh, snap.
We still have a reasonable curve here. Worth noting that Nocturne will get buffed from Cudlun before she changes it. Similarly, she gets tagged by Fisk Tower before changing it. The double 6 drops definitely feel a bit clunky in the games where we don't draw hope. Their death is very free, yes. Yes, collapse mine actually destroys all rocks on the board, not just the rocks at the collapse mine. That is accurate. Five, 7, 21 here in the middle. Be a bad steam. They're gonna play for the left. Yes, Cudlin will power up Nocturne before she changes it. Similarly, Fisk Tower penalizes her before she changes it. Little Murder World jump scare there.
Victory.
Did Nocturne change Deep Space? She cannot. Morning Polo. I'm playing the Marble Claw Onslaught deck you played yesterday, but with Storm, so I did have Nocturne. I'm screaming up the ladder. Quake in that deck is really good. Yeah, I like that core a lot, Manicus. It'll be tonight's highlight on the YouTube channel for sure. If you're missing a card in this deck, I would play Black Widow as the first substitution. I got Ultron. I think Ultron's probably still terrible. I want to Jeff this turn into Rock Slide next turn so my Blink can turn Rock Slide into a 6. Ragamuffin, thank you for the entire year of support. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Welcome back. Any card you consider underrated right now, Legion, is much better than people give him credit for. Legion lost a point of power and people forgot about him. Yeah, that's like an apt description of what happened. Speaking of people under/overestimating single point changes. See, Deathstrike deck get me to infinite. Nice, Eric. So we're dropping by. They kidnapped my shark, chat! Alright, we still won the breaker.
Victory.
Your untap's one of the most fun to look at due to how many different decks there are to check. Yeah. And honestly, not everything we end up playing ends up there, because on viewer deck days, they get churned through in the same slots, they get replaced. Polaris jump scare moment there. Your closest replacement for Kitty in this deck is Nightcrawler, but your Hope Angela plan's gonna get a good bit worse without Kitty. She's kind of a core part of that engine. Get a positive win rate with the viewer deck slot. No, not typically. Usually we end up somewhere between like 35 and 45% on win rate with viewer decks.
Snap. Opponent snapped.
Ulfkarn, thank you for the primer. Appreciate that support. This is my full-time gig here on Twitch, and folks like you are a big part of why that's possible. Thanks for keeping me around. Throwing mode on Nico. Full hope into these two.
Wind, aid my hand.
Are they C2, baby? Doctor Doom's a lovely pull here. Let's contest the flooding reasonably. We'll be able to Kitty plus Doom on the left next turn. Although I guess there's a possibility I want to save the Doom as a surprise. Yeah, I think Theta is one of my most look forward to cards for the upcoming season as well. I agree. I think she's likely to be very good. Should you order Rock Slide last for Blink? Yeah, that's a good call. So now I do this, yeah? Because I can't Darkhawk the right next turn because Echo is there. But I can Darkhawk the left and play Kitty Pride somewhere. And then we'll just punt the middle. Might as well move Jeff out. No, I want Jeff to end up on the right side.
All systems go.
Because I'm gonna need more points there. My Darkhawk's gonna be freaking huge. I'd rather put more stats over here. I'll have a total of 926. And if they go Mystique plus Phil, they'll be at 24. So we're beating that. We're beating Mystique Phil right, which is their biggest output range. People always ask, what is the #1 thing you could do to get better at Marvel Snap and win more? This is the answer to that question. You need to be able to look at the deck your opponent's playing and know exactly what they can play and what numbers those plays give them. Yeah, so their only combination that beat us here was Shadow King plus Mystique. And I think them needing to have 2 specific cards means we stay in. And that's, Marvel Snap is honestly, the cube system makes it one of the harder games to climb in. Because it's not just about playing your deck well, it's about playing your deck well and knowing their deck and how they would play it. And what the odds are of them having particular things. You'll always hear people say, you know, You just need to snap and retreat better to climb, but that's not an easy thing to do. It's a tall ask, because in order to snap and retreat better, you need to know basically every deck in the format. And one of the things I think doesn't get talked about enough is you often hear people say, you know, the game is better when you play against a lot of decks. And I agree, it tends to be more fun and enjoyable when there's a wider range of decks that you're gonna play against. But when the metagame is more diverse, it's actually harder to climb. When you only need to know the output range of 2 or 3 or 4 decks, it's easier to know how to snap and retreat than when you need to know the output range of 30 decks. And there isn't really a replacement for getting in those repetitions. When you're looking through my untapped decks, make sure you click the Conquest tab at the top, because once we get to Infinite, we usually live in Conquest to farm medals for the season. That's true. Watching streams like this one is a way to gain experience. Hearing me play against a deck like Cerebro 2 and talk about their output range can let you tuck that information away for later. So you can get that experience firsthand by losing your own cubes, but you can also get it secondhand by hanging out in channels like this one where the creator's going to talk through what they're doing and why. Which is why it's so beneficial to have whoever content you're watching describing why they're doing the things that they're doing, so you can take that at home and apply it in your own games. How does Taskmaster interact with Blink? Not the way you want it to. I guess I'll just play Conquest. Yeah, so I think Gold Conquest tries to pair you into someone who's also 2-0 for the last match. So we're 2-0 right now, so I think the queue time's longer for the last one. We might just go back and play some more Proving Grounds in Silver, though. There's a reason why, even though I have a bunch of gold tickets, usually the first week I only play the lower Conquest ones, because the queue times are quicker, so we get more games in. Yeah, Black, thank you for the 20 months. Welcome back. Hot Carl, thank you for the 14 months. That's a hot resub. Good morning, good morning. The Pixie Ultron deck work. I would be very surprised if Ultron is competitive in the long run. Very, very skeptical. Degron gamer. Holy. Alright, we're both gonna fill the raft here. It was a good draw. Listen, chat, they're in good company. I am a fellow Stegron enjoyer. We might get Juggernaut in. Raft triggers during the staging phase, so even if they Juggernaut me, I still get the free 6 drop. But yeah, I would agree. I would not be surprised if Juggernaut's in their upper range. Okay, so they, in theory, can't move any of their cards in the middle. I think I just do this, because it plays for everything. play this out just in case they have a Red Hulk. Ando Loop, thank you for the 8 months. Appreciate that. What's the line? We'll go to 10, 16 in the middle. We'll be 17, 22 over here. It'll be 8 over here. Play Doom right for the Angela proc. Good shout. That's free. Good catch, Doom Chatter. Accidental emote. Apologies, opponent. They could Luke Cage to get more points, but oh yeah, that's fair. I don't know that I can really play around that though.
The mystery intrigues me.
Actually ended up being pretty close.
Victory. Oh, snap. Opponent snapped.
Ah, I fixed my command links. Recursiveness. Opponent played Tribunal. Why is that showing their deck tracker? Because it was a Raft Tribunal.
Wind, aid my hand.
Oh, that's unlucky. I wanted him to stay there. Is the alpha test of Rivals today for everyone? It is for everyone who has a key. Where do we get keys? I've already distributed them. You'll be able to get more keys by watching people stream who are in their official content creator program, but it's unclear if they're actually going to get those to everybody in their creator program because their server and whatever is kind of a disaster. So the odds they have Shang-Chi are low here because I did leech them. There's some question if they play for here or here. Oh my god, we lost because we leeched them. God, this card is ass still, isn't it? We win if it pulls the rock slide. That's so funny. Also lost a 50-50, but we win there if they can pull my card.
Oh, snap.
Are you going to be streaming Rivals? I'm up in the air about it right now. I think it's going to depend on what numbers look like tonight. I'm planning to stream at least until Marvel Rivals goes live. But if, like, everybody else in the Snap category changes game categories to the Rivals section, it would probably make more sense for me to just continue streaming Snap. So we'll see. I'll make a business decision in the moment this evening. English only in chat, please. Could a moderator please translate that and just make sure it wasn't anything that shouldn't be being said? Those Rivals. It is a new Marvel-themed team shooter game. Yeah, my quick type into Google Translate implies that it was not kind. So. Sometimes that's just how it goes. And oh crap. I'm turning Leech into Dr. Doom here, so we're actually tying the bar. Awkward.
We are the future.
I feel kind of bad. I'm bad to say it because it's the truth, but like 9 times out of 10, when someone comes into here and their first time message is in another language, it's usually someone from the Italian community brigading and saying something shitty. For reference, for people that haven't been around Marvel Snap for a long time and don't understand community drama, Atrix is a wonderful human being who at one point made his Marvel Snap username a racial slur by using a number in the place of a letter to get around the auto. The auto filter. So, the type of community that he tends to cultivate tends to not be great human beings. How do you get drops? You just watch a stream like this one for 6 hours.
Aid my hand.
And then after you're done watching, you check out your inventory on Twitch and you claim them up. Is the new Thor bundle any good? The new Thor bundle is marginally worse than the absolute best. The new Thor bundle is marginally worse than the absolute best Token Tuesday deals. So it's okay. Am I streaming for 6 hours? Definitely. I must say, Green Goblin Lizard is certainly a combo from our opponent's deck. This is actually kind of fun. We get to move the Jeff and then blink the Jeff into something else in a different lane. It's my first time getting to do that play. They have Polaris. It is true that Polaris can mitigate some of that potential downside. That is accurate. We have the power. Ooh. This deck feels solid. I think Leech is kind of the weak link. It's felt not great in the games that we've played, but the rest of this deck seems reasonable. I think I'd probably sub Leech out for like Black Widow, get another Darkhawk synergy. Is Leech a hedge? I think Leech is... People are trying to figure out if Leech is a real card. And Leech decidedly still just does not feel very good against Hela. And to summarize for people that weren't here when we played the matchup and talked through it, the big problem with Leech against Hela is the information asymmetry it creates. When you Leech the Hela player and you hit their Hela so they can't play her, they retreat for 2 to 4 cubes. When you Leech the Hela player and then they top deck Hela afterwards and are going to beat you, they get to stay in for 4 to 8 cubes. Past that, there's also games where you Leech the Hela player and then just a combination of early Jubilee, Dracula, and then follow up Magneto, Infinite, Red Hulks beats you anyways without the deck's namesake. So I think rather than playing this card that's pretty inconsistent there and has information asymmetry that's bad for you, I think I'd rather just play Black Widow. There's also the added advantage of not playing any 4 energy cards in this deck makes your blink more consistent. Because like one of the things that was a little awkward with Leech in this deck was that if Leech was in my deck alongside like Doctor Doom and Red Hulk and I wanted to blink a Rock Slide, it would be like, oh, well, sometimes this Rock Slide's going to blink into a Leech and sometimes it's gonna bleach into a 6-drop bomb. So I think having another card that's sweet to blink similar to Leech but also doesn't mess it up when it's left in our deck to get our biggins out sounds solid. So yeah, I like this card. It was reasonable. I think you could probably sub Nocturne for like Nightcrawler or another good cheap on rate card. I think you need Hope. You can definitely sub Red Hulk for Magneto or a different card. This core is definitely not playable without Hope and Blink, and obviously Hawk. So these are your must-have cards. I think you could substitute these dorks. I guess Jeff is a card some people don't have too. He could be Nightcrawler. Oh, Kitty Pride is a must-have too, I think. Your must-have core of higher tier cards here is Kitty, Hope, Blink, and Hawk. I think these others have reasonable substitutions.